Alright, so probably one of the most interesting weeks for Fish is finally here. We've been waiting, and especially after this weekend's update, I know that a lot of people are probably looking forward to this, just so we can sort of move on from that and hopefully see some change. In case you aren't aware, let's go ahead and give you guys the full breakdown, starting with what exactly is coming on Thursday the 13th. So basically, in 3 days, 17 hours, 26 minutes, and about 3 seconds, the Hunt Mega Edition is going to begin, which is by far one of the biggest and most interesting events that Roblox has ever hosted, for the simple fact that the grand prize is going to be $1 million US. This is money that even after taxes is quite life-changing for a lot of people, so you already know that this is going to be an event that's going to be extremely packed with a lot of players. As you can see right here, it says the Hunt Mega Edition will take place in our event hub across 25 experiences on Roblox. I know that 25 seems like a lot, but it really isn't, but none of that matters because the point is that one of those 25 games is Fish. And again, as I mentioned before, this event begins on Thursday, and I previously mentioned this in one of my other videos, but basically, because of what's at stake here being the $1 million, this entire event is more than likely going to be rather challenging. So it's safe to say that we're going to be receiving some type of either quest system or maybe some type of hidden little quest system within inside of the Fish world that needs to be accomplished by the influx of players that are going to be coming in for the hunt. Now, if you guys remember, previously I went ahead and mentioned about this in one of my videos. I think it was either on Friday, maybe even Thursday, and I told you guys that it was a bit of a tricky situation because technically speaking, we always receive updates on Saturday and not exactly on Thursday, but because of the sake of this massive event, they kind of inevitably have to push out an update on Thursday. If we come over here to the announcements page over in the official Fish Discord, this was already pretty much confirmed also with the fact that Noah posted saying that the official date for the hunt is going to be March 13th and that Fish is officially going to be a part of this. Somehow, some way, it's going to be in connection with the update on the 29th of March, which we all sort of know is going to be Cthulhu, because they've mentioned about the Great Dreamer so many different times. And as of recently, we actually got ourselves a new sort of teaser picture being this right here. If you sort of look past everything, I know it's kind of difficult because there is this whole entire abstract thing going on, but you can clearly see the outline of Cthulhu right there. Which if we go ahead and open up Photoshop here, I can actually show you guys there are the eyes right there. And then this basically is a complete outline of its head with obviously the noob character down here at the bottom. This will sort of give you a better view. There is other things, like it looks like there might be sort of like a dock right here, but all of that stuff I can't really make out. The only thing I can definitely make out is obviously the Cthulhu head that's right in the middle, which kind of a little off topic, but I do want to point out the fact that there's already 976,000 people interested in this, which is kind of crazy. If you think back to like Mariana's Veil, we were pushing so hard to get that to 1 million, which I believe at the very end, it ended up getting to like 1.4, 1.5 million, but it basically took until like the last 4 or 5 days before it finally hit 1 million. And we're now like 3 weeks away from the actual update, and it's already at almost 1 million. Kind of insane, to be honest. But now this is where things get a little bit tricky because, as I mentioned before, this is technically a big week for Fish because in theory, there might actually be 2 updates. One on Thursday being hunt related, like how I just told you guys, and then maybe one on Saturday, which is going to be St. Patrick themed. How am I getting to this point? Well, if now we come back to the official Fish Discord and we go to the updates channel, this is where they go ahead and post like all of the patch notes for basically like this weekend's update that just passed, all of the small little bug fixes that they do. Everything is usually posted in here. And when the update dropped at 8:03 a.m., they mentioned at the very bottom, and it says, "And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, something incredibly lucky is coming next week. Stay tuned." This was pretty much leak number 1 and pretty much kind of like where all of us sort of thought that it ended. If we switch over to the leaks channel, this is always where we get any type of leak whatsoever on what exactly is coming. It's like the traditional way for them to do it. And if we take a look in here, there hasn't been anything posted besides the boots the day before the actual update on Saturday. Instead, this time they did it a little bit different, which I'm kind of curious as to why they decided to do this. But if we switch now over here to the official Fish X page, this image was posted, which shows clearly a St. Patrick's Day themed fish, and it says, "Why don't fish celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Because they are already swimming in green." Not 100% sure what that means, but I mean, okay. The thing that I found the most interesting about this is the fact that it is a purely themed St. Patrick's Day fish. I could be completely wrong on this, and I would be more than happy if you guys corrected me in the comment section, but I feel like for the most part, the Fishmas update was a kind of like a loved update update. Yes, it had its flaws, like for example, the Santa quest sort of being like gatekeep for a couple days before it actually released, which I'm going to be honest, I feel like that was more of just a situation where the devs didn't have enough time, so they just kind of like pushed it a little bit further. But besides that, I feel like overall, that entire Fishmas update in its core kind of felt like the whole entire casual, traditional fish update, if that makes sense. For starters, we had our own dedicated area with the snow globe that would teleport us into Winter's Edge. And then of course, we had all of these dedicated fish, like a glass of milk, an ornament fish, a cookie, and of course, the most sought after, which is still sought after till this day, the North Star Serpent. I don't know why, but I sort of have a feeling that we might be seeing a St. Patrick's Day island, or at least some type of exclusive area for St. Patrick's Day. And I feel like after this weekend, that would be a perfect touch. But at the same time, I could also just be asking for too much, considering they are sort of juggling the hunt update with also an extra update. I don't know. I feel like if we sort of backpedal here to the X page again, this comment at the bottom where it says, because they're already swimming in green, would make sense for an entire world separated, very similar to like Winter's Edge, where we were kind of like inside of a snow globe. At least that was sort of like the theme for that area. And then basically this entire area would just have a bunch of green water. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Besides that, they can obviously, you know, kind of calm down a little bit on the monetization. I feel like a lot of people are, you know, kind of done with that for the time being. I've been reading your comments, especially on yesterday's video, and I do agree with a lot of them. There isn't really anything that I can say that would really change anything, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I don't benefit from any of the monetization that's done, even though for some reason people think that I do, but I really don't. Even though technically I am an admin in the game, which specifically my position is to be the content creator manager. I do this out of just purely love for the game. Contrary to popular belief, there actually is no payment behind this. I help out with the content creators just simply because, for one, Noah is a good friend of mine, Const is also a really good friend of mine, and over time, even Nate has become also a really good friend. Plenty of other developers on the team are also what I would consider really good friends of mine. Also, totally off topic, but I completely forgot to mention that these guys here, or well, I guess these girls and guys, also mention about the Gray Dreamer. I know that was like the craziest sort of transition from one thing to another, but I just sort of saw them really quickly and I wanted to mention that. But yeah, man, overall, I really just hope that these next 2 updates, or maybe this next 1 update, if they do decide to push out the St. Patrick's update at the same time as the hunt, I sort of have fingers crossed that they're really, really good. And even if they aren't super big updates and they are just sort of on the casual side, I'm sort of just praying that the monetization is toned down just a little bit. I get it if they do it every now and then. I'm not going to knock them for that. I am an adult and I completely understand that money needs to be made. People need to be paid. The team behind a lot of this is incredibly massive and a lot of people get paid in order to sort of keep the machine flowing. But at the same time, I do understand that there is sort of like an overkill sort of moment. And the easiest way to know when you've hit that overkill moment is by just simply seeing what the community is saying. Either way, man, as soon as we get any more information about the updates coming later on this week, I will absolutely bring you guys a follow-up video. I'm excited to hopefully see a limited time bestiary, hopefully, fingers crossed, a limited time map or a limited time island or area, whatever it may be. Maybe also bring back some limited time bait. And I mean, I know that some people don't like it, but I kind of enjoy the quest, so I would be okay with also a limited time quest. I'd also like limited time rods that don't end up being kind of useless, like the antler rod and the other one, I even forget what it is. Oh, right here, the candy cane rod. I don't think I've ever used this one. I only have 47 fish caught with it, and I think it was during that time where we were just making a bunch of videos trying to get festive fish. Anyways, man, that was a crazy yap session. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, it is not a yap session. And of course, we will have hopefully a banning series video available for you guys during this week. So make sure that you guys turn on notifications so you don't miss that. With that being said, I will see you in the next one. Take care.